Hello everyone, welcome to episode 0 of my Sectless and Zero Starting Trades run. Now first up, this episode will air after part 1 or episode 1, and I even recorded after part 1, but I felt it was necessary to go over the rule set and my thoughts behind it. Now if you are only interested in the actual run, you are free to skip this episode. This is just laying the ground rules. Now first up, and that's the most important rule of the whole playthrough, sectless. If you think about my other runs, I typically went through almost every sect to gain all the benefits, and you gain a lot of benefits. Simply, if you look at traits, you have Way of Nature with the Taoist sect, which is absolutely incredible. Then you join the Old Man sect, so you gain something like Learn from Everyone or even Acting from Heavens. Then if you join the Shifa Temple, you get Enlightened Monk and Arhat Golden Body. At the Confucius sect, you should also get something which is Disciples of Confucius. I also forgot that you get the Buddha Heart trait at Shifa Temple. TLDR, you get a lot of value in terms of simply traits. Furthermore, this is amplified by all the legendary manuals you get. If I am doing a one sect run, I can immediately tell you what I go for. If I'm going, let's say, Taoist sect, I can pick up Infinity Sword, I can pick up Infinity Origin move, and that's an incredible combo. If I'm going Lang Sword Pavilion, I can very quickly get Nameless Sword, which is an incredible move, and so on. If I join Confucius sect, I can get the Spring and Autumn Fan, which is the best manual hands down, and simply combine it with another manual. And what I'm trying to tell you is that sects offer so much. And the game is essentially focused around sects. You are playing a wuxia type game, and the idea is you join a sect, you have a master, you learn from them, and so on. So I am heavily restricting this aspect of the game. Now one thing I am not restricting are factions, because I felt in a sectless playthrough that is fair game. We only really have two different factions in the game, which is the Yan army and the Ye army. The general mansion does exist, but it's completely pointless. And I feel this is fine, since the factions are broader in a sense. Like you have the whole Ye army, which essentially encompasses the entire region. If I had a map, I would show it to you. But that's the idea. Factions are fair game, but I must always be sectless. Now the second option is, and that's to nerf ourselves a lot and make it comparable to a newer player, is 0 achievement points are allowed. Like none. At first I was thinking the same amount of points would be allowed as a new player, which happens to be 30. But I thought, why 30? Why not simply 0? So we completely cancel out all of the traits we can get from sects and all of the starting traits, and that severely nerfs you. If you have watched my part 1 or possibly part 2 tomorrow, you will see simply how weak I am. Next up, we also have the available starting points. As a beginner, you start with 15. I also will start with 15 in the series, and in my case, I went for Int and Dex. Why in particular Dex? Because it's the weakest attribute except luck out of these. Typically, you should always go for a high int and then probably 4 strength for constitution. That is a very solid option. You can immediately get the XP early on, and then you are still slightly strong. Dex on the other hand is a lot weaker, and that's why I picked it. Then another rule, which is not really apparent in the rule set with sectless and 0 starting traits, is I will not allow homestead transfers. So if you have your home, like here I can even spoil some of my progress. I am in the Flame City already, but in the homestead I am not allowed to transfer a legendary item over or legendary manual. I hope it's quite clear why this is the case. After all, I am restricting sects. As such, I cannot obtain core items or core manuals from those sects, and if I could just cheat them or transfer them over, it would be quite boring. So I may have different manuals on here. I don't even have a martial arts engraved on this at all, on the steel, but I am not allowing this at all. Next up, let's continue on this rule. One more thing you could do in a run is if you obtain a manual, and there's one Vairocana Solar Sutra, and I don't know what you're talking about. If you obtain a manual, you could imprint it on this steel and then re-engrave it onto another book, essentially duping it. I am not allowing this either, and that's why I called it in my rule set no homestead transfers allowed at all. This way, like using this tech, I'd call it, you could get the Archdemon Soul Eating skill alongside Vairocana, but I don't like the way that works. I feel like that is abusing the system in a sense. Same thing, by the way, with the treasury. Normally you could use the treasury to dupe items. As you can see, I've never entered this area at all. It's just too irrelevant. You could duplicate items with the treasury, but I am not allowing any transfer or any pickup of the sort, so this is not allowed. And those are actually all of the rules I have set so far. Maybe there will be ones in the future, but my only last note is, or last point is, using tech is perfectly fine. You will see it in part 2 and part 3 of the series, where I use some insane tech with Duke Kang to help me out with one of my lower stats, and I love it. Like, that's what made it fun. And all I can say is it was a lot of fun already. Obviously, one minor point is, since I am restricting to being sectless, or I'm restricted to being sectless, some of your favorite girls will be forgotten. I simply cannot obtain them, even if I try my best. Now, one girl in particular I will forget, because she is too much of a hassle. To be honest, there are possibly 3 of them I am ignoring, so forgive me already for that one. But yes, this should be it. I hope you're hyped for the series. If you like it, don't forget to something with subscribing and liking. See you guys next time. Bye bye.